8 a.m. in the morning and we have woken up after a good night's sleep. After the sun set yesterday, it got so windy and it got so cold. After a few hours, it even started raining. I think it was around midnight. So the sheet of our ghar was shaking so violently, and with the raindrops falling, we could hear the loud sound. But thankfully, they had provided us with 3 blankets, so we didn't feel cold. We just pulled it on top of our head and went to sleep. And today morning, we woke up to the sound of little birds. I think it was the sparrows which were just flying on top of our ghar. And today it's a bright sunny day with a little patches of clouds here and there. So all the ghar camps are here, and for our morning business we have to walk all the way till there. Let's see what Navneet is up to.
I woke up some time ago. That's why I'm all ready already. After getting some tea, we've decided to step out and explore Kharkhorin today. Kharkhorin is the ancient capital of Mongolia. It was the seat of the great power during Genghis Khan's time. And later on, the capital was actually moved further down to Beijing, which is interesting because that's how the Yuan dynasty continued. But here,
Beijing in China?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And here in Kharkhorin, the most important place to explore is the ancient monastery of Erdenizu. It's about 2.5 kilometers from where we are staying right here in this camp. The camp is actually right by the Orkhan River, which we thought we'll come back to visit later once the sun comes down a bit. It's now around 10. It's 21 degrees, a bit windy, and still very pleasant to walk around. And the grasslands are incredibly beautiful.
I can never get bored of seeing these green grasslands, and if there are a few horses in the far grazing, that's like a bonus. It's such a lovely sight.
Yeah. Oh, there are horses.
Yeah.
The entire place is surrounded by mountains, and right now, because we are in July, the green cover actually is fading a bit because the sun is getting more and more intense, but also the rains are beginning to get more and more. So last night we had a crazy storm and it was so windy, like I think Shish fell asleep very quickly because she took a pill for being sick, and then I was still awake. I couldn't get sleep until like way past midnight because of how much of sound there was. It was really incredible. But that also means that over the course of the next few weeks, the greenery will come out again, and then the water will start to fill up the rivers, and eventually in early October it begins to snow here.
This is one of those countries where I miss not having our own vehicle.
Yeah.
It would be so much fun, so much freedom, and so many things we could do if we were on our own.
I genuinely think we should come back with a vehicle someday.
Yeah, it's so nice to just camp anywhere in this country. You don't need to, it's just grasslands and the views are different.
Yeah, that's the best part. You don't need to have a stay planned for beforehand. You just show up with your vehicle or whatever and get a tent, put it up, and that's it, you're set.
You can see people drying cow dung on their roofs, and then they make small cakes and then they're stacking it up in the side.
They usually use that to fire the ovens inside the gears. So even the one inside our camp, it's actually a firewood stove. So you can throw in firewood and heat it up, but a lot of the locals prefer to use cow dung because they have a lot of cows and sheep here anyways. We just learnt that there's a very big festival happening in town. It's called Naadam. We were actually supposed to see it in Ulaanbaatar, but we left a bit earlier than expected. But we also learned that it's also happening here in Kharkhorin.
And the locals in Ulaanbaatar told us that it is much more fun here in Kharkhorin and the entry is free here. Otherwise in Ulaanbaatar we had to pay a ticket.
Yeah. The Naadam festival is one of the most popular events that happens in Mongolia annually. So it's a festival of the nomads. They celebrate with 3 specific games. I think it's archery, wrestling, and another one.
Horse riding.
Horse riding. These are the 3 main sports that they all come here together and compete and watch. And we just found out that it's only about a kilometer or so away from the camp that we're staying at. So our plan is now to go there and see if we can get in and see it.
We can already see so many cars just rushing towards it. So I'm thinking maybe the opening ceremony is going to be really grand. Bye, Lala. We were just walking on the road and it was still 1 kilometer away from the festival spot. And then somebody just stopped for us and told, come in, let's go to Naadam.
Yeah, it was so cool.
And then
He brought us out here in his car.
I like this dress.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. We just learnt that the festival will begin with the opening ceremony at 11 a.m. It's now around 10:30 and we totally would have missed it if we had walked further into the city. But it's so cool that we're here now.
There are so many horses and people are riding them wearing their traditional clothes and the cap. It looks so much fun.
There's a bunch of tents and seating sections here in the very center.
I think they've made something like the first circle is all for people to sit and watch this show in the center. And then the outer circle is filled with a lot of food stalls, juice shops, some toys for the kids.
You're skipping the most important thing. It's ice cream. There's too much of ice cream here. It's going to be very hard to stop us from getting some later.
Namit is asking some people which is the best seat to choose so that we can watch the festival nicely.
Okay, we've just found ourselves a very nice seat. We're on the top level of a 3-level sitting stack. There's a lot of small huts here, but all of those are for VIPs. So the common people can actually sit here on one of these for free. There's absolutely no ticket. So we're gonna sit here and wait for the opening ceremony, which is about to start any time now. The ceremony has just started. It started with the monks going around in an arena.
They were sprinkling holy water. I think that marks the beginning of the ceremony. It's so much fun to come to events like this because at one single spot we get to see so many traditions of the country. On one side you get to see all these military officers like professionally dressed, like they're wearing so many badges on their dress uniforms, and then you get to see these Mongolian women dressed in like long robes. They have a band tied around their waist. It looks so colorful. Each one is like silky and glowing in the sun. And then you see these Buddhist monks traditionally dressed in their saffron robes. Mongol babies.
Looks like it's beginning with an invocation prayer. All of these monks are definitely presenting Tibetan Buddhist culture. So we can hear the same kind of mantras that we used to hear back in Sikkim, the northern part of India, which lines Tibet.
You can see Navit wandering around there, searching for an ice cream. Well, look who's back with an ice cream.
There's the uncle who gave us a ride. The one holding the flag.
So many horses right behind us, and they're marching towards the ground. This is so good. There are kids also on the back. Crazy.
What is he doing?
Mr. Navneet is hungry yet again, and he's in search of food. So many stalls. What to eat? They are going to start wrestling now.
That was an incredible first half of the ceremony. I think they're doing all of the opening games right now. One is horse riding, the other is wrestling, and the third one is archery. Archery hasn't begun here yet. I don't know if it'll be here because there's a lot of people sitting and you don't want arrows flying around. But the wrestling scene was really, really interesting. The wrestling uniforms are pretty interesting. It kind of reminds us of the whole Pahalwan scene back in India as well as in Central Asia. It's the same kind of dress where they're wearing something to cover their bottoms, and then on top they're wearing a very simple jacket.
It looks like they're wearing a full sleeve shirt, but there's nothing in the front, and only half of their back is covered.
Yeah, and what we noticed is that when two wrestlers are fighting each other, they use their force on the sleeves to pull one off the ground and push him off to the floor. And then if they do that, that's how they win. So maybe that's why they use it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the weather's changed a lot from when we began. It's now super cloudy and windy. Some rain is expected in the next hour, but right now the whole place is so full of horse dust that you can't really stand in their way. There are so many of them. There's easily a few thousand here.
Well, that time Navneet was walking around looking for snacks. He came back and reported that there were no stalls selling vegetarian food.
almost all of these gers that are behind us, behind these cars, there's a lot of gers there, but they're all makeshift restaurants. All the restaurants are serving a very similar menu, and most of it is just they look like stuffed meat fried sandwiches. So I asked a few of them if they could make a vegetarian one, but looks like they can't. So it's just the fast food scene here. I did find one though that was selling some Western food, so maybe we asked them if they have something vegetarian.
It's a lot of stalls.
Very bad luck. We didn't find any vegetarian food in that entire lot. So now we're just gonna head into the town and try to find something to eat there.